Welcome back to This Day in Scottish History. I'm your host, Colin MacDonald. Today, we're delving into a dramatic and unique chapter in Scottish history, the Battle of the Inch, or the Battle of the Clans, which took place on September 28, 1396, in Perth. This battle was a trial by combat organised by King Robert III of Scotland to end a long-standing feud between two rival clans, Clan Chattan and what was referred to at the time as Clan Quhele. The clash was held on the North Inch of Perth, a grassy expanse by the River Tay, in front of a gathered crowd that included the king himself and members of his court. It wasn't an ordinary battlefield, but a staged combat zone where 30 warriors from each clan were selected to fight to the death. The exact identity of the opposing clan remains a matter of debate. Some sources suggest it may have been Clan Cameron, longtime enemies of Clan Chattan, while others claim it was an internal conflict between the Macphersons and Davidsons, both factions within Clan Chattan itself. Regardless of who their opponents were, the animosity was real, and King Robert III was determined to put an end to it. The idea was to settle the feud, not with a full-scale war, but through a controlled, bloody contest of honour and strength. King Robert, along with his nobles and citizens, watched from specially erected stands while barriers were built to keep the crowd from interfering in the deadly spectacle. The stakes were high. Armed with swords, axes and shields, the two groups of 30 men prepared for combat. But just before the fight was about to begin, one of Clan Chattan's warriors fell ill, leaving their side one man short. In a surprising turn of events, a local warrior, Henry Wind, also known as Hal o' the Wind, or Henry the Smith, offered to join the fray in exchange for a fee, should he survive. He agreed, and thus the battle commenced with 30 fighters on each side. The battle that followed was vicious and brutal. As the two clans clashed, swords flashed and axes swung, causing a bloody and deadly scene. The death toll mounted quickly. The chronicles of the time describe a murderous conflict, with limbs severed and heads split by heavy claymores. The sound of bagpipes blared as the warriors fought relentlessly. By the end of the battle, Clan Chattan emerged victorious, having lost 19 of their own men. In contrast, their opponents were almost entirely wiped out, with only one surviving. This solitary survivor is said to have leapt into the River Tay, swimming to safety, while Henry Wind, the volunteer, was among the 11 remaining Chattan warriors. The Battle of the Inch was not just a contest of strength, but a symbolic event demonstrating the Scottish Crown's control over feuding clans. The victory granted Clan Chattan royal favour and bolstered their standing. As for Henry Wind, his bravery and contribution to Clan Chattan's triumph earned him a place within the clan. From him descended the Gow or Smith sept of the clan, solidifying his legendary status. Historians and chroniclers over the centuries, including Andrew of Wintoun, who wrote in the early 15th century, and later authors like Walter Bauer and George Buchanan, have all provided accounts of the event, though the details vary. Walter Scott even immortalised the battle in his novel The Fair Maid of Perth, romanticising the encounter as a ferocious and emotional fight, punctuated by the sound of bagpipes and the cries of the wounded. While there is still debate over which clans were involved, no one questions the significance of this battle in Scottish history. It remains one of the most remarkable examples of trial by combat ever staged, illustrating both the ferocity of clan rivalry and the attempts by Scottish monarchs to impose order. The Battle of the Inch did not end all clan disputes, but it stands as a symbol of the violent and tumultuous nature of Highland life in the medieval period. Clans would continue to feud for centuries, but this staged battle remains a memorable and vivid episode, a testament to how far leaders were willing to go to maintain peace, however temporary, in their realm. So, as we look back on this day in 1396, we remember not just the clash of swords and the roar of battle, but the human desire for resolution, honour, and in this case, the dramatic settling of scores in the public eye. Thank you for joining me today on This Day in Scottish History. I'm Colin MacDonald, and I hope to see you again for more stories from Scotland's storied past. Until next time, haste you back.